Buddy, now I want to talk about equal and opposite reactions. Sometimes those reactions don't come until later, like when someone dies and then someone finds out a story and certain things and then works on their behalf or does revenge off their behalf. Um, Someone might have killed someone and thought they got away with it, then someone else finds out later on and gets revenge and it does time tens. Stuff like that. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction, right? We run our science, we get all these cool tools from that theory, right? And so sometimes you just got to wait for things to happen, right? Like if we collectively all do certain things, mostly we have an equal and opposite reaction of wars and a repeat cycle and all that kind of stuff, right? And so I want to tell you an example when it comes to people who, in that point, it happens in all sectors. So people that do too much of something like me doing too much smoking, involves a smoker, too much of it, right? You'll get a reaction sooner or later. You might get away with it, right? And you might have already had an equal and the opposite action in other areas, means you had a stronger body, you looked after yourself, you stopped at certain periods, then went again, stuff like that. In the end, there's an outcome of equal and opposite reaction, right? But most people would end up just dying of cancer and in a high probability of that, right? As we talk about. So when you satisfy yourself in all sorts of areas, it gives you an equal and opposite reaction, right? So someone who's skinny, usually a person that works a lot, doesn't eat much, eats either healthy, has money to eat healthy. All these things, right, brings up why someone could be skinny. A high metabolism, they got lucky on that. They got that gift part, which everything has an equal and opposite reaction. To work together as well. People get gifts, things are there to work with that and all that kind of stuff. And so if people satisfy, say, their taste bugs, right, and if you do something too much, usually things go wrong, right? You get an equal and opposite reaction. If you do something too much, what are you going to get? Right? And then that can cause a lot of outcomes, not only for yourself, but for others, right? And they happen in all sectors. And I thought I'd like to use food because it's the most common problem that people have. I've had it myself. I've been fat before. So it helps me explain this because I know what I'm explaining after I went through things can explain how I went through things as well, right? And so when you eat too much, right, you're satisfying an ego. It's like an ego, right? Eating comes in all forms, right? Doing wrong to others, doing things that you may not do onto others and stuff like that kind of thing. It's like eating. You know, you shouldn't do too much of it. You can get away with a little bit. Right? Everyone does it to everyone. You do it to me, I do it to you, all that kind of stuff. Right? But if you eat too much, you want error. No. And if you ever notice when it comes to food, here's a clue for you. When it comes to food, have you ever noticed all the baddest food tastes so good? What do you reckon, Emma? Yeah, sure. Well, all the bad, and it is true. You look back and you go, well, not all the baddest food. Right? There is food that tastes good, but all the baddest food that tastes good, that easy to make. I forgot to put that in. Right? So they're really easy. Chocolate, you can make plenty of it, really easy, not much to it. To make really nice food that's healthy for you takes chef and artistry and stuff like that, doesn't it, Emma? Yeah, well, I don't know anything that's pretty healthy that's quick, unless it's standard, like some people like apples and bananas. But I mean, you know, a nice, cool, human-made treat, right, that we haven't had a million times as we grow up, which is the standard nature fruits and stuff like that. Right? But you'll notice a pattern, more than likely. Right? Everything's not meant to be exact. It's a most occurrence, and you can go along where you fit. Right? And some people can eat more than others. Some people have to. I've got cystic fibrosis. I'm a person that needs a high fat and sugar, right, and salt, as that's what my body uses a lot of because of my illness. Right? And if I don't get it, well, I get skinny really quick. Right? And so I've got to eat more of that, they say roughly 3 times. Right? More sugar, fat and salt if I'm working like every other Joe Blow to get the standard energy. That's what the scientists say, and that's how I've learnt, and I've been through my other things. I could talk about that, to another story, about how things work and why I'm skinny, how I gained weight. I gained weight if I just eat everything flat out like any other person, but I gain weight quicker in certain areas as my body's not used to it. So when I go to gain weight, I gain weight like a bear kind of thing. Don't I, Emma? And then, but I can also lose it really quickly after I gain weight. And that's part of CF as well. And your metabolism and stuff like that also causes a problem with trying to gain weight or your food and all that. So people have a really good metabolism, have an opportunity to get things easy and all these things. If you do too much of it and make it too easy, well, you get a Newton's law and you become fat. Right? Now, fat's not a good thing. Right? It's just like too skinny. It's the same way the other way. Right? Too much of not eating and all the rest. But the biggest problem everyone's getting is they become fat. And then I hear a lot of people saying, well, aren't I sexy and all these things? Well, doing too much of an easy thing, most people would call a slacker, right? Now, is a slacker sexy to you, right, besides being fat? I'm trying to give you another example of why things can mainly happen in certain areas. Now, there's very small chances of the other areas of people being fat for certain outcomes not caused by them, right? But most things that we have in our problem are caused by a collective or ourselves. And so when you become fat, you'll hear these people now passing the buck, like we all do, one of our sins. And they go, well, why don't you like me like this? Why don't you like me like that? And some people can. It depends on when they introduce or what they're expecting to happen when they get introduced. Some people say when they get introduced that, you're big and, you should do this. Everyone gives advice about certain areas and they'll say, yeah, I will. Right? That's another sin that we get, of people saying that they will do something, but they never will. They're like the people that say they will fix things or replace things so you can lend it to me, but never will, right? And so it goes in all sectors, doesn't it? It's a circle. It's a sin. If you go higher, you'll find the problem, and if you fix it, you can actually fix all these sins, right? By putting the sin in its place collectively. Means that is the truth, that is the outcome. In certain areas, someone's crying and this and that and self-vented. They should feel that. So someone's saying, I'm fat, I'm this, I can eat whatever I want, I'm sexy because I say I am, even though some of them deep down inside aren't, and even have a preference to have a skinnier person and stuff like that. And so they try to twist it. Everyone does something bad in all sectors. They try to, it's a human sin, that they try to twist it to make it not that outcome. Oh, it's not me, it wasn't that. It's you. Now I'm sounding like a fat bastard in this sector. I'm depressed because I eat, and I eat because I'm depressed, right? And now I'm going to say I'm fat and beautiful in my body and there's nothing wrong with it. But I'll say that smoking's bad. You know what I mean, people? That's a sin. You're contradicting things. You do one thing in one area, but then you're being like the smoker in the other. You see? But if you go higher and get the right priority, you'll fix both problems. You wouldn't do any. You go, oh shit, I've got nothing to say. And you've got nothing to say and don't feel good and people don't show you that what you've got to say is a good thing, then you would change or things would stop, wouldn't they? But people are going around going, fat is beautiful and this and that. And in a way, in a small area, they are right. But in the big area, they are wrong. As they're promoting unhealthiness, you see? A little bit like people laughing at certain tribes with all the rings in their neck. And if they take the rings off, they go, oh, they're pretty weak. But they do that because the tribe leaders said it looked good. And it started off with 5. They're like, I like it when it's jammed to your neck. It gives me that strangled sex feel that you constantly get strangled. And I'm like, oh, really? As long as you like it and that's part of love, I'll do it. And then they get another ring and another ring. And then it becomes a part of culture and why they like it. But that doesn't suit everybody. Right? And so there was a part where it worked, and then there's a part and a time where it doesn't. Right? So when these people go through these problems, do you feel sorry for them? Someone took their rings off their neck, and they have to do it every now and then. Then their neck snapped. You would say at the funeral, well, there you go. They died because they wanted to look good. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to feel sorry. That's a Newton law. Well, I'm telling the truth, aren't I? They had an accident on something they wanted to look good, and sadly they died. But that's what the risk they took. It's the life we live at, and at this time they're dead as they took a risk in life like smoking, took the rings off one day and the neck snapped. For looks. That dude there next to him died for cigarettes because he was stressed out, and that was the only thing that the society allowed him to have. And they promoted it at one stage, and it worked for him, and he got addicted. And then society just punished him that he got addicted, and then he died. You know what I mean? Isn't it sad? It's terrible. As the fat goes, shickle your bum, it's cool to be fat. Look at me, I make money. And then the other one also makes money over in that same area, in that same society of the pervertedness. They go, gang, gang, bang, bang, thank you, man, drugs on the street, make a lot of money as people promote me. I got a badge, look at me, everyone wants to be me as they're giving me money. Bang, bang, shoot, shoot, rip the bitch, slap the bitch, put her in a party. Will that work? Not nothing over there? That's city out. I'm not in the right area. I'll get blocked. What do you reckon, fatties? Jiggle the butt. Because it's cute. Like coughing. Now I'll cough down the street. Most people look at me like I'm a smoker. Look at him cough his head off. I'll be a smoker. Yeah, you can think whatever you want, you fucking fatty. Know what I mean? They're just pigs that eat all they want and spit their own shit. Know what I mean? A lot of these people need help in these areas, but they deny the help as they believe they need badges to help them. Shocking, isn't it? But anyway, have a good one, and you let me know what you think about this clip. Did it help anyone out there? Well, when I was a fatty, guess what helped me? Look at him, he's getting tits. I can't believe you're dating a fatty from their friends. You know, he's got cystic fibrosis. It's amazing he got fat. You know, he's got to die anyway. Shit like that. Yeah, aren't we living in a beautiful society? See you later.